Hi, um, this is Tasha again, and I hope you guys are all fine and doing well. And the reason I'm back, I would like to share 3 dreams. Um, Now, the first 2 dreams, they are very short. Um, and then the third dream is a dream that I had quite a while ago. Actually, wrote it down. But this dream I had actually June 26th, 2006. Um, Now, when I had this dream, I was going through like a sanctification in my life. I've had to go through several of those because whenever you are called to sanctify for the Most High and you don't reverence that sanctification by His grace and His mercy, if He's going to continue to deal with you, He will call you back into sanctification. And that's because He is Kodesh. He's holy. And that's basically some of this dream. Now the dream is not, I'm just giving you kind of a synopsis of the dream. It wasn't necessarily like I wasn't in the dream, but it was still relevant to me. So just to go ahead and, I don't know if I said hi, but my name is Tasha. If I didn't say hi, sorry. Okay, so the first dream I want to speak about, I had in August of 2019. This dream was very quick. I saw the Statue of Liberty. The statue, picture my finger being the Statue of Liberty. I saw the Statue of Liberty, and the Statue of Liberty fell. So the way it fell, I thought maybe you know how, like, if a tree is being cut, it's not cut a thick tree. It's not cut all at once. You have to, and so if any part of the tree is still connected to the stump, it can fall over anyway. So it was like the Statue of Liberty was being cut down, but it fell and then it raised right back up. It fell and raised right back up. So it was like it was trying to stop. I know it's a statue, but this is what I saw. It was not wanting to be cut down. But we all know, just like with a tree, if you start the process, the tree would have to grow again. There's no way to make the tree not fall. And even if it looked like it was up, it really wasn't up because it was cut down. That was it. So again, I saw the Statue of Liberty. It was being cut down. It fell. It jumped right back up. Fell, jumped right back up. Fell again. And then this dream, I would like to give a disclaimer on, because I know right now there is a lot of racial tension. I don't know about in the world, but I know in America, it's thick. You can tell. At least I can tell. You know, I experience it. It is what it is. My thoughts are, it's spiritual. You know how people will speak of a spirit of hate, or the word teaches us about different unclean spirits. I believe racism is a spirit. I believe it's spiritual. And the spirit itself hides behind what we call prejudice and racism. Because the acts, the things tolerated and accepted under the guise of racism and prejudice is evil. It's evil and wickedness. And that's for whomever is operating by that spirit. So, and I just want to say that I really gave a lot of thought about sharing this dream, because I just did. You know, I wasn't quick to share any of my dreams. I'm just starting to. So this was also a quick dream. It was me and two men. The men were my color, of my nationality, and there was a couple, I believe, I'm not for sure, but they were together. Two European Americans. And so I was in the middle. There was one guy on this side, one guy on the other side of me. And the two European Americans were just talking, not to us, to themselves. And I remember when I looked at them, I thought, because they didn't look like city people. They didn't look country, but you could tell they lived a somewhat sheltered, to themselves, more than likely among themselves, life. So they were just talking, and they were kind of like talking and kind of made a little eye contact with us. They were not talking to us, but they could see us. And we weren't talking. We were just looking at them. Me in particular, I was just looking at them like, because I was wondering, like, I wonder what they're doing, here. And so as I'm looking, I look down, and they are on quicksand. Now, they're talking, laughing, smiling. And I'm thinking, do they know they're on quicksand? And as they're talking, they're actually sinking. Now, once we know, the three of us, we kind of start to look at each other like, do they know they're sinking? We don't say anything. Because I'm really looking at their reaction, because they are not, no indication of fear, no indication, no acknowledgement of danger, nothing. So I'm bewildered almost, because they sink. They go under the quicks. As they are sinking, they are still talking and laughing and looking at each other. They go under the quicksand, and I see bubbles. That's the end of the dream. The first dream, and I say that because I had this dream June 26th of 2006. And this notebook it's like not together, but I have a lot of info in here. Not info, but like I said, that was a time of sanctification in my life, so one of many. I'll just read what I have here. I had a dream, and I saw two women on a porch dressed in white. One woman had a flashlight or a candle of some sort. The other woman was encircled in a white light. The Spirit of the Most High asked me, what were they doing, and why were the women, and why was the woman who had the flashlight talking and praying to him when her garment was not clean? She had not been washed, but was trying to offer up praise, sacrifice, and worship. He said, those who come near him must regard him as Kodesh, as holy. He is trying to purify us, but we are not allowing him to clean us. Then we sit and try to worship. Should we approach the living Most High with hate, fornication, unrepentance of our drug use, and all wicked and evil things, and expect him to receive the sacrifice of praise from our lips? He said, no, he will not accept it. Go get a new heart and a spirit, then he will accept you. Now, this was just a dream that I had many, many years ago. And I didn't understand the significance of what he was showing me in this dream back then. I understand better now. Especially the part about him trying to wash us. And it makes me think about in the word when I'm going to call him, he has many names. But when I say Yahweh Shai, that means deliverer. You know, names mean something still, and they meant something very much so back in ancient times. So the name that he has given us is in relation to who he is. He is Yeshaya, he is our Savior. He is Yahweh Shai, he is our deliverer. Okay? Yahweh. Yeah, you may pronounce it many ways. Yahweh, Yahuwah. Depending on where you're from in the world. But Yah is our salvation. And that's what that means. So when Yahweh Shah speaks of, if he doesn't wash us, then we're none of his. You know, we cannot clean ourselves. One day I was taking a shower, and as I was taking my shower, cleaning different parts of my body, the Spirit of the Most High spoke to me in the shower. And he said, do your feet clean themselves? And I was like, cleaning my feet. I'm like, no. He like, does your leg clean itself? And I'm like, no. And he said, neither does my body. He said, I clean my own body. I wash my body. My body doesn't, like, just like your body wouldn't tell you, I'm going to wash myself. Meaning literally, my leg wouldn't come off of my body and stand in front of me and say, I got this. You know, literally. And when he said it, I could just laugh. I just laughed. It wasn't a lot of conversation. He just used that as an example, and I understood. And so, we cannot, I know in this day and time, we believe we can. You can answer the call. You can answer the call to your salvation. But you cannot approach the living Yahweh. You cannot approach him any way you want to. And so, this is something that maybe I'll speak on in a different video. But what I really wanted to share was those 3 dreams, because I think they all mean something. Hopefully will help someone who hears one of the 3 dreams. If you've had a similar dream, you know, feel free to email me about it or comment. Because again, like I said in the first video, I feel like, you know, this is a way to communicate. Some of us have been isolated before COVID. And as he allows us to share what he's placed inside of us, it'll all come together. It'll all be fitly joined together for his glory, no doubt, and for our sanctification and our edification. It's all a part of our salvation. It's all a part of the work, his work, to save us, to present us blameless before his coming. Here a little, there a little. Line upon line, precept upon precept. So, yeah. And I will probably say this in any video that I make. If the Spirit of the Most High Yah has been speaking to you and telling you to do something, it could be anything. It could be literally, because he'll put his eye on anything. And one thing I want to say, being that salvation belongs to him, being that you wish to stand before him and you wish to come into his kingdom, you must listen to him. It's just like if I stayed somewhere and I wanted you to come visit me and you had never been, and I gave you instructions to my home and you disregard the instructions and you say, oh, I'll find it. And I know you won't find it. That's what a lot of people are doing with their salvation. When he speaks to you about something in particular, it's because that is something that is either hindering you, a stumbling block, an open door to the enemy, jeopardizing your very soul. And whereas we may want to downplay it, he wouldn't be speaking to you about it if it was to be downplayed. He doesn't speak like we speak. He doesn't, even if he was having a conversation, it would mean something. You know, we know this from the word. Even when he spoke to his disciples, he was washing them. He was sanctifying them. He was teaching them. Whether it was speaking in parables or giving examples or teaching them about the kingdom, everything had to do with the kingdom. Everything had to do with his Father. Everything had to do with leading and guiding them down the path of righteousness for his name's sake. And what is his name? He is your salvation. So being that he is your salvation, he is my salvation, we got to let him do what he do. This is his work. This is his work. You know, as I sit here, I want to share one more dream that I had. I had this dream in 2014. I had a dream I was walking down the street and I just heard, get inside the house. Get inside of a house. Like, get inside. I stayed in an apartment. The dream was in my neighborhood, the neighborhood that I lived in. I stayed in an apartment that was only like maybe 2 or 3 blocks away, 2 blocks away maybe. But I knew the urgency of what I heard was like, get inside right now. When I looked, there was a house. The actual house the house had a sign. It had like a cross and something maybe about a church. I don't really know. I used to walk the neighborhood. I can't really say what it was, but I know for a fact it had a cross on it. So that house was in front of me when I heard get inside of the house. So I went, the door was open. I went inside of the house. As soon as I got in the house, I just came in the house, shut the door, and looked out of the screen door. There was like, it looked like a wind, but if you were looking at it, you would have thought it was a wind. But you can't see wind, but nevertheless, the way it moved was like a wind. Even though you've never seen wind, it was like a very translucent. Okay. If you've ever been in a storm, like a dust storm, like you can, the debris that's picked up, you can see the direction of the wind, whether it's the leaves or the dust or something like that. It was along those lines. However, it was a wind of spirits. They were, it could have been hundreds of them maybe. It was a lot of them. They were just coming down the street. They were excited. I don't know if you've ever seen Ghostbusters. There is a Ghostbuster movie where, um, I mean, I saw when I was little, but this is what is coming to my mind to compare it to. There was a part where the vacuum, I think, was broken, and somehow they reversed all of the ghosts um, that were in it, and they came like down Times Square, I think it was, or something. They had like a parade, or they were excited. This is it is the exact almost same thing. And I was like, shocked because the timing. It was like it was timed perfectly. I heard, get inside. I looked, I went inside. As soon as I shut the door, they were passing the door part. There was one. Now none of them looked at the house that I went into. Like I didn't see them when I was on the street. So, but there was one in the middle who actually looked at the. I mean, I can't say he was in the middle, but there was one that turned his face towards the door. Like I knew he could see. I knew it could see me, and it knew I could see it, and it just looked at me. But it went along with the flow of wherever they were going. I had this dream in 2014, and I remember thinking, where are they going? You know, that was the end of that dream. So, something else that comes to mind, the importance of sanctification. It's because he wants to dwell in you. Just like, I don't know if anyone's ever watched House Hunters or HGTV or some type of home renovation show. They see the house. It's not up to par yet, but nevertheless, it's in the right location. The potential is there. The specs. It can be renovated, right? That's like us. He comes to us when we are in need of renovation. And he comes because he wants to build us and make his abode in us. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. You will understand what I'm saying. When we downplay that process, you don't have any idea what you're doing, because things aren't going to always be how they are. And even though we try very hard to make things natural, everything is spiritual. The fact that we're here is spiritual because we were created by a spirit, the Father of all spirits. So, the Most High. So, these are things that I believe he's blessed me to be aware of. And that's why I said these are some things that I would like to share with other people. He allows me to understand. He speaks to me through his word, and as I ponder his word, he speaks plainly. He's so high, but yet he regards the lowly. And so he has never not taken the time to explain something on my level. And I thank him so much for that. You know, he really wishes for us to understand, and he's able to make us understand. He speaks through the word, of course. You're going to understand what he's saying through his word. But just like his disciples, when they didn't understand, he would say, "Do you not understand this?" And he would take them into a room and he would explain to them until they understood. And they even said, "Now you speak plain to us. Now we know you are who you say you are." You know, so I just want to share that. I don't want to go too far because I can talk. Yeah, I hope that blessed someone. And again, I will be making some more videos regarding as I'm led to. And y'all be blessed. Bye.